Ruchi, wow, what timing? It is 9:30, isn't it? No, I shot by 1 minute or so.
No, you're bang on. It's 9:30.
9:30. Okay, so guys, 9:30, perfect timing, right? This is SQL Server performance tuning inside me. Perfect. Okay, Ruchi, over to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Amit. And I must start off by first complimenting you. You know, when I saw that image of 7 people moving on to a house full somewhere last year or so, I think it just incredibly impressive what you guys have done to this community. And that too, you know, without some heavy investments coming on from marketing funds or so. So kudos to you and your team in building up this large community that you guys are so passionately involved and engaged in. So great stuff there, Amit. Cool. With that, I'll get started. And first and foremost, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the geeks out here. I know so many of us have joined from a different time zone, so we really appreciate you taking out time and joining us here today to really go through what is in store on SQL 2019. And of course, I also want to take a second to hope that all of you are keeping safe and taking good care of yourself and your families in these difficult times. We're all in it together and we'll tide this wave together. But I just like to start off my session by ensuring that everybody is keeping safe and following the guidelines that one is supposed to be. I've been given 15 minutes and I hope to do justice to your time in those 15 minutes. I'll quickly get up my screen here. And Amit, if you'll be able to do a check, thumbs up if everything is all fine coming up on the screen.
Yes, all great, Ruchi. We can see your screen.
Great. So quickly introducing myself, I'm Ruchi Tushir and I lead the go-to-market strategy for data, AI and IoT in India. And super excited to be here. I know Amit did a couple of quizzes for you, but I still want to do one more. And what I want to, okay, my slides are not moving, so just give me a second. Yep. So I actually want to first of all ask each one of you, what in your opinion is growing with time? You could just type in something in your chat window. I could glance through it, but very keen to understand in your opinion, what's really growing through time as of now. I'll take a quick 30-second pause there.
And responses are coming in the chat window.
I can see that, yes. Okay, I will move on. And I'm in a great mood these days, so I'll say love grows with time. And I'm sure some of you will agree, some of you may not agree, but that's all right. You know, it's a perspective that we're bringing on. But apart from that, I'm also sure that some of you are thinking, you know, in this lockdown, my waistline is constantly growing. Some of you would say my cumulative interest is going. Some of you may say, you know, I've aged by 2 more months in the last 2 months of lockdown. And things can be so different for everybody in terms of what's really growing with time. But there's one consistent element that all of us will agree, and whichever lens you look at from, will be true. And that's actually data. The leaps and bounds with which data is growing is unprecedented. The amount of ingestion, the amount of generation of data across your core, which is your traditional and cloud data centers, your edge, which is like your cell towers, branches, your endpoints, your PCs, smartphones, IoT devices. It's just mind-blowing. And I'll pull in a number here, 175. Does anybody know what this number is? This is actually 175 petabytes, and that's where the data is expected to be by the year 2025. Now, you know, sorry, not petabytes, zettabytes. I really apologize for that. 175 zettabytes. Now, you know, to get a perspective, what really is a zettabyte? Sometimes we all play with these numbers, but, you know, to visualize how much that really is, I'll give you an analogy here. 1 zettabyte is equivalent to 1 trillion gigabytes. Does that put into perspective what kind of data are we talking about here? Maybe still not. So I'll give you another one. If you were able to store this entire data into a stack of DVDs, this 175 zettabytes could actually take you to the moon 23 times and probably do a circle of Earth 222 times. Wow, that's mind-blowing. Now that's the kind of data sets or data sphere or data that we're talking about that's going to be across all of us. And this is where we want to bring in the digital transformation. This is the same constant stream of data that flows across. There's something going on with my screen, so I'm not able to change to my, okay, I hope you're able to see it now. And this is the data stream that I'm talking about that flows across and through the ecosystem. It is this sum of data that, if captured and harnessed with applied intelligence, this is going to help you take better decisions, drive transformative processes, and allow you to do things differently, to create new experiences, new ways of working, new outcomes. And these new outputs in turn will actually create even more data, which can help us learn, help us refine things, and constantly keep on moving on in our journey of digital transformation. And this is what we call digital feedback loop. And it is how we actually help organizations unlock new value, either by taking on a new outcome, new experience, new way of working. Like I mentioned, this all starts with data. And as we know, all kinds of data sets are being generated right now, be it machine, be it people, IoT, social, relational, non-relational. And this data is getting stored across many places, including the operational databases that actually power your applications. Data warehouses that are going to power your BI reporting and dashboards, your data lakes for long-term storage and ad hoc analytics. Where you use these solutions is equally important, and that's a call that each one of us has to take. Whether we're going to use them on premises, in the cloud, or on the edge. And we know that it's not an either or question. It's actually all of the above. And we are here to actually help you build a data estate that isn't bound by where your data lives. You need a data estate which is limitless from ground to cloud. And actually, the vast set of customers fall in the hybrid space, with data both on premises and in the cloud. And one thing that we hear loud and clear from most of our organization is we need to leverage the existing investments on premises. This is the reason why we believe the hybrid is the way forward for the foreseeable future. Hybrid enables you to leverage the best of class solutions in the cloud as well as on premises. It means doing more with your existing applications that you've already invested in, modernizing them, transitioning to the cloud gracefully. And all of this with a consistent set of tools that you can manage and reason over your data, regardless of where it sits. And by the way, what's the ultimate goal of actually having all this data? Getting important insights that can help you drive your business forward. This means that you need to understand what really happened historically, what's happening at this moment, and what's going to happen as we get into the future. So all that prediction that you need to understand and evaluate for your organization, for your business scenarios, is something that's the ultimate goal that you want to drive out of your modern data estates. And in order to take full advantage of AI, the predictive modeling, we feel that it's imperative to establish a modern data estate to begin with. And frankly, there's no better cloud than Azure to do that. Organizations today actually need a data estate that has no boundaries and drives intelligence across their businesses, no matter where the data sits. And with our unparalleled approach, we are able to take forward organizations where they can maximize their values through, first, driving a limitless scale, which means you query all types of your data across both data lakes, data warehouses, operational databases at a petabyte scale with blazing speed. Your applications that are intelligent by default. enabling the power of AI and learning is built into the fabric of Azure Data Services. You have the freedom to gain insights from the data no matter where that lives. And finally, of course, our security and privacy features that are best in class, on-premises, hybrid, or cloud native. Security is incredibly important to us. And we almost like spend $1 billion every year on cybersecurity. And we have like a huge number of cybersecurity engineers working hard every day to make sure we're always a step ahead of security threats. This is the type of data set that actually everybody must have in today's age, where insights are needed at every turn to determine critical business outcomes. And this is where we're actually going to talk through how Microsoft is supporting this entire modernization of data estates on-premises and hybrid. We'll start looking at SQL Server 2019. And we've been here 25 years of perfecting our SQL offerings. And SQL Server 2019 is full of new innovations and truly can be a hub for your entire data estate. We know that many organizations are taking a hybrid approach when it comes to the cloud. And Azure has been built to enable seamless hybrid capabilities when it comes to either deployment, development, and management across on-premises servers and public clouds as well. And of course, edge devices, I do not want to forget that. We have Azure Arc, which will help you enable data services to run anywhere on any infrastructure across on-prem, edge, and third-party clouds. Finally, we'll talk about how you can bring the same powerful SQL engine and machine learning models that you are running on-prem and in the cloud, and now deploy directly onto your IoT devices at the edge. But before I actually move into where Microsoft is taking forward the leap on SQL Server 2019, I wanted to spend a minute in aligning ourselves to where Microsoft stands in the operational database systems. There are many players in this market, but Microsoft has been a leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for over 7 years in a row. That's commendable. We've maintained that pole position across years now. And our on-premises SQL offerings continue to improve from where we were. SQL Server 2019 acts as a hub for an organization's entire data estate. For 25 years, like I mentioned, we've helped enterprises manage all facets of their relational data. In recent releases, SQL Server has gone beyond querying relational data by unifying graph and relational data and bringing machine learning to where the data is with R and Python machine learning or model trainings. As the volume and variety of data increases, customers need to easily integrate and analyze data across all types of data sets. We are in a situation where we need to simplify big data analytics. And SQL Server 29 comes with everything you need to create a data lake, including Spark. You run your apps, analytics, and AI over structured and unstructured data, all in the same integrated manner. SQL Server 29 gives you choices. Use your favorite tools and languages. You are able to break your data silos, deliver one view across all of your data using data virtualization, combine data from many sources, including Oracle, Teradata, MongoDB, and many more beyond that, without any data movement or replication. Like I mentioned earlier, AI is built in with SQL Server ML services in Spark, which allows you to ingest, prep, train, store, operationalize your models all in one system. We're also extending the most secure SQL engine and ML to edge with Azure SQL Database on Edge. And with this database on edge, you now have the power to stream, collect, process that data right on edge device, whether it is connected, semi-connected, or disconnected environment. That's a massive move that we have gotten and an edge over our compete when it comes to taking forward the SQL journey ahead. You have the power, we all understand, that there has been a recent explosion of IoT devices such as sensors, drones, cameras, and this is actually driving significant growth of data at the edge. And this is where SQL Server Database comes in, and basically allows you to drive an intelligence and analytics to be processed closer to the source as possible. In fact, What we also understand is by 2025, 75% of enterprise generated data will be created and processed out of the data center or cloud, up from less than 20% today. That's a massive move. And this is where we recognize that this is an opportunity for our customers. We announced a public preview of Azure SQL Database Edge, bringing a consistent data and analytics engine to the edge and running natively across data center, cloud, and now right at the edge. You can push your databases and ML applications downstream to devices running in connected, disconnected environment. You can stream, store, analyze time series data using time windowing, aggregation, insights by combining data types and such as time series and graphs. Real-time scoring, detect anomalies, apply business logic at edge. All this is feasible by using the inbuilt machine learning capabilities. You can process the data at edge before forwarding it to your data center, which actually allows you to drive and optimize network bandwidth and cost, which is a critical factor for a lot of our customers as well. You are able to deploy and update your Azure on your enterprise or on enterprise portal for consistent security and turnkey management. I think the reason I spent a considerable amount of time on Database Edge is because this is a new age scenario where a lot of customers are seeing how this could be a game changer for them. And we want you to be aware that these kind of capabilities are very much possible and feasible with SQL Database on Edge. I'll also quickly talk about Azure Arc, one of my favorite topics here, because this is actually a set of technologies that's going to help you extend your Azure management and allow you to enable your services to run across on-premises, multi-cloud, and edge. You can bring your data services to any infrastructure across on-prem, edge, and third-party clouds using Kubernetes on hardware of your choice. For customers who need to maintain data estate on premises, you will gain unique benefits for those on-premises data workloads. First, you will always be current, meaning updates and upgrades are fully automated and the deployment is controlled by your policy. You will gain unique and cloud-proven innovation ahead of any other hybrid cloud offering, like the Evergreen SQL with no end of support through Azure SQL Database. And of course, the Hyperscale deployment option on Azure Database for OSS as well. Secondly, we bring cloud elasticity on premises so you can optimize perform of data workloads with the ability to dynamically scale up and down without an application downtime. This is again a very important factor that a lot of our customers are constantly looking at. I should have the flexibility to scale up, scale down depending upon my business scenarios. Moreover, by connecting to Azure, you'll gain unified management. Imagine you're able to see your data services running on-prem alongside with those running on Azure Cloud through a single pane of glass. And you're using familiar tools which you've been already used to, like Azure Portal, Azure Data Studio, and Azure CLI. And for the first time, you'll be able to access Azure industry-leading security and governance capabilities to your on-premises data workloads using our Azure Security Center, Azure Policy, and Azure role-based access, which will allow you to protect your data on-premises. And best of all, you can now have the option of using modern cloud billing for better cost efficiencies across your hybrid infrastructure. This doesn't end here. We're essentially talking about hyperscale and limitless scale coming through SQL 2019 also. This is a highly scalable performance tier that is going to scale out resources for SQL databases substantially and beyond the limits available with other services tiers. This hyperscale provides actually, hyperscale provides additional capabilities on reliability and availability. Because it's part of SQL database, it has multiple levels of redundancy and no single point of failure. We're talking about 99.99% availability. We're talking about scalability, which allows you to go up to 100 terabyte of database size. Compute and storage scale independently. You can literally nearly instantaneously database backup. So I just wanted to close with the fact that there is so much more that has happened with SQL 2019. I gave you a preview to how we could, of course, take forward the Edge, Arc, limitless scale, inbuilt AI and ML capabilities, which helps you which helps you to build on capabilities for true sense of analytics. And I think, as we go along the day today, all of you will see, as the relevant speakers come up with their session, there's just so much that has gone into SQL Server 2019. It's really the game changer. And we're looking forward to how we could drive transformation for our end customers with support of SQL Server 2019. So I wish you all the best, and happy to take any questions that you may have. If not today, if you guys want to reach out through LinkedIn, Twitter, happy to take that up. And Amit, I will now give it back to you to continue with the rest of the sessions for the day today.
Thank you very much, Ruchi. That was a wonderful opening note, a very crisp overview and detailing of what are the different options there. So I'm sure you can share a community version of that slide, and we can give it to all the attendees so they can also get a run-up overview of our Microsoft data platform.